Hey, my name is Brian Nail, and I'm a mortgage loan officer with Per4mance Bank. I just want to say how much I truly enjoy being a part of the Spread the Positive Network. It's an incredible mission that brings so much positivity to our community. It's been a real pleasure to be involved. Now, when it comes to financing a home, there are a lot of options. And in a market like today's, having the guidance of a trusted local professional can make all the difference. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home, second home, an investment property, or explore refinancing options, I'd love the opportunity to earn your trust and help guide you through the process. If I can help you nail your mortgage, give me a call at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Spread the Positive podcast. I'm Trent Denson, your host, as always, and these are continuing to be my favorite new episodes we do. Have a STP 1200 Club member spotlight with my good friend, business coach, all the things, Mr. Ron Orr with Foursquare. How are you, Ron?
Doing well, Trent. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The way I like to do this is take me back as far as you want to go. Young Ron, early passions.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of get into where we are today, if you don't mind.
Very cool.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Will do. Will do. So I'll compress this a bit. So I grew up as a military child.
Yes, sir.
We moved all over the world. I was born in Maryland. Spent a little time here in Tennessee.
Okay.
Young. Both my parents are originally from Tennessee. So we spent some time here while my father was deployed. Stint in Texas, a stint in Hawaii, a stint in Virginia, a stint in Louisiana, and then college in Florida.
Right.
Went active duty Army.
Nice.
Served in the service.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. My pleasure. And took care of the healthcare for a lot of people. Had a lot of fun in that. Came to a point where I had to make a decision whether we were going to stay in or get out for family reasons. And I chose to leave that field after some very sage advice from mentors there who said the military medical system would not be run by the military by the time I got to their point in their career.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, then I need to make a change now than later. And so early in that transition was introduced to business ownership.
Yep.
And so started a business, ran a business for several years, stayed in the healthcare space with that. And then had a transition from a healthcare business, and had an opportunity to work with a second generation owner.
Okay.
For the first time.
Oh, wow.
Very interesting. He was early 30s.
Okay.
His father had built 3 disparate healthcare companies
Wow.
under one management company.
I don't even know what that means.
Separate, very unique,
got you.
not well aligned is what that translated
Okay.
into.
Thank you for my
Sure.
limited vocabulary here.
And so had the opportunity to sit down with him and go through a process and say, what is it you really want to do? What do you want to be? What do you want this to look like? And that ended up meaning a whole reconstruction of their purpose, their mission. Wow. We made some changes in their culture. We brought a lot of things in. And one of the very first things I did for him as we did that was to bring in a COO.
Okay.
He was managing everything himself and much too much going on. So brought in a COO and really handed that over. And that spawned a whole thought process for me.
Wow.
Now let me back up a little bit.
I was about to say that was
I didn't
too
just
concise.
jump into that.
That was too concise. No, I love that.
No, yeah. So, grew up obviously around the world.
That's amazing.
Which was phenomenal. Had some amazing opportunities to travel. Loved travel.
Still do.
When I was young, we traveled to Australia to visit with friends.
Wow.
That's an amazing country.
Yeah.
We saw one state. 2 trips, 5 weeks on the road, all in New South Wales, which is where Sydney is.
Okay.
There's a lot of Australia to see.
Okay.
We have not seen it all.
Wow.
So that was great. And then as I graduated from high school on my way to college, my dad was assigned in Europe. So you're a college age kid, and this is your responsibility. Go to Europe, go to school, go to Europe, go to school, Go to
And
Europe.
you're talking
go to
Europe
school.
to Miami, correct?
I'm talking about
yeah,
Europe
we
to
got to back up
Miami.
just a touch. We got to back up just a touch.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yes,
That's
sir.
incredible. That was an amazing condensed version. First of all, that was impressive. I know you're a baseball guy,
I'm a baseball guy.
and you were a baseball guy all through high school.
Actually, I played 1 year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I played 1
this is
year,
the stuff
young.
okay.
No, so loved going to baseball at Miami, by the way.
Sure.
Mark Light Stadium.
Okay.
Now Alex Box Field or whatever, because Alex Rodriguez had played at Miami,
Oh, nice. Okay.
was just a quarter of a mile from my dorm.
Oh, that's so cool.
So we could literally see the lights on and walk down and go watch the games.
That's so cool.
And that was really cool. We were
Right.
very, very good back then. That's been a few years.
Yeah.
Enjoyed watching the game, but it wasn't until we had our eldest son
Got you.
where he was, we were in Mississippi, and he was 3-ish, and the Braves were big back
Oh,
then.
yeah.
This is the mid 90s.
Good times.
And he would literally watch whole baseball games.
At 3 years old.
At 3 years old.
That's amazing.
And he had his little fake glove, and he would be throwing the ball, and he would be hitting the ball, and he would be running the bases. And that was true for him for about 18 more years.
Okay. That's where the long baseball career
Yes,
came.
sir.
Okay.
So I had to go to school.
Yeah.
I had to learn about baseball.
That's awesome.
And that was amazing. Getting to learn baseball with him.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Really special.
So we learned a lot about baseball history. I learned about the game. Sort of helped coach a couple of his younger teams,
Sure.
but then did get to help coach his high school team, both
That's
JV
so
and
cool.
then varsity. And then when he graduated, I actually coached our 7th and 8th grade teams for 4 years
Wow.
to help that program. So
I bet you're a
We
heck of a
had
coach, man.
a lot
I
of
can
fun.
see that.
had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah.
That's really awesome. I know we've had several conversations off mic, so there's a couple of things I want to hit on. I really think it's important for people to know the people behind Spread the Positive. That's why I love doing these. So forgive a little bit of a bouncing around here, but we got to talk about how you met your wife.
Oh, yes.
It's like How I Met Your Mother, but
Absolutely.
it's a great story.
Yes.
And just how you got to Miami, I think, is an amazing story too. So if we
That's
can cover
true.
that real quick, and then we'll get into
Yeah.
some more stuff.
Absolutely. So we were in Louisiana in high school.
Yes, sir.
I got to do all 4 years in one high school.
Nice.
My sister got to do 3 high schools in 4 years.
Wow.
So
That's
she
tough.
had hard time.
That's
that was a
tough.
tough time. She's
That's really
amazing. Just so gifted, and she does great work now in what she does. But so I was actually committed to go to a school in Louisiana,
Right.
and had put out had some decent scores and had an ROTC scholarship.
Awesome.
And so everything looked good. And I remember told my mom one day, I said, unless God writes it in the sky that you need to go somewhere else, this is what I'm going to do. My
Isn't
friends,
that funny?
yeah, got to be watchful what you say. Here, there's
Careful what
a
you
rest
wish
of the
for.
story, right?
Right.
And so a lot of my friends were going to this school.
Yep.
I knew the school well. I'd already spent a summer
Okay.
in school there. And then got a phone call in the afternoon. Mom answers the phone, hands it over to me. And it's the University of Miami Army ROTC department.
Wow.
And they are calling to say, congratulations on your Army ROTC scholarship. We don't know if you know, but the University of Miami matches that scholarship and pays room and board and the other essential fees that your Army scholarship does not pay.
Wow.
So effectively, you can now go to the University of Miami, which is a small private school, for basically no cost.
Wow.
So that was kind of wild. So I'm old enough that I had to go into the grocery bags
Yeah.
in my room and peel through all the flyers from all the schools and find the Miami one
Wow.
and take a look. And what I liked about Miami was the fact that it was a smaller school. Because back then there were about 9,000 students
Really?
total.
Okay. Wow.
That included
I
all
didn't
our
know
grad
that.
schools. Our undergrad was only about 6,000 back then.
Wow. I had no idea.
And so the class numbers, even were really small.
Right.
You know, so a
That's
lot of our
cool.
classes were 15 to 20 students,
That's really cool.
which was really cool.
Yeah.
The other thing was that in Florida, they had a very high acceptance to medical school. And at that point in time, I was considering medical school.
Wow.
So I went to mom and dad and said, okay, I don't know what writing in the sky looks like, but I probably need to at least to go take a tour. Took a tour, enjoyed it, met some great people, got back, and I remember praying about where I needed to go to school because I'd already made these other commitments. And God said, Miami. And I literally argued. It was an
Really?
argument. I was like, wait a minute. My parents are moving to Europe. I don't know anybody in the state of Florida. I was dating a young lady who was also going to the school where I was going to go.
Right.
It was all these things. And so I prayed about it. And then I prayed the next night and God's like, okay, you can argue with me all you want to, but my answer is not changing. And it made no sense. It really made no sense.
Yeah, that's wild.
So, you know, I didn't argue and ended up at Miami.
That's
And
insane.
So that's half of a very insane story.
Well, I got a question. I got a question before we get to the rest of that story.
Yes.
Where did this faith come from at such a young age, and to be that, I mean, I'm going to say devout of a Christian in high school? I mean, I did all the church things growing up and was very active in youth group, you know, all through high school, some of the best years of my life. I don't know if I ever had that deep of a conversation or just, it's hard for me to picture like myself being in that situation and having that discernment at that age. Can you speak on that a little?
I can. So I was very fortunate. My parents were saved actually as young adults.
Oh, wow.
I was actually already born. They were saved in 72.
Okay.
They had both grown up in Christian families, different denominations, but both grown up in Christian families. And once they started their walk, very involved early on through what is called Officers Christian Fellowship.
Okay.
And so it was literally small groups of officers on installations that meet on a weekly basis and do Bible study and Christian mentorship. And so we grew up around that environment.
Wow.
Always active in either the chapel on post or in a church around. And very early, third, fourth grade, spent some time going through seminars, we called a Christian Home Seminar that was run by a ministry in Texas. And they really talked about your relationship with the Lord and that praying without ceasing is real, understanding the role of yourself as a child, your parents. And so watching my parents go through these studies, going through the studies, reading the Bible, that was the foundation. What's interesting about that, though, Trent, is while my sister was 5 when she made her profession of faith, we were in Hawaii, and she made her profession of faith, and still a little envious. She's seen her guardian angel.
Wow.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
I did not realize until I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
It was my sophomore summer, and we had actually built a chapel at that ministry where I had kind of gotten to know some of this. And I remember being in that chapel and somebody said, you know, if you haven't made that decision, then this is a great time to make the decision for the Lord.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, I don't remember making that personal decision.
Wow.
I knew about it.
Yeah.
I was walking it out. I was a good kid,
Yeah.
but I'd never made a personal decision.
Wow.
And so I remember
powerful.
getting down on my knees, praying the prayer, accepting the Lord. And so my parents just continued to encourage me. And when I told my sphere of friends from our church there in high school, they stood beside me, and we did some pretty crazy, bold things. Like the summer before we were seniors, stood up in front of our church of about 300 and said, we're going to change our high school by our faith this year.
Okay.
That didn't necessarily make a lot of friends, but we stood strong to our faith. And
Man.
when you're surrounded by a group of guys that are aligned, and there were three others,
Yep.
and so the 4 of us held each other accountable. We studied a lot, we prayed a lot. So that level of support, made praying through it a pretty comfortable thing. Now,
Right.
telling my friends
Oh yeah. I
who
bet that was
already
crazy.
knew that I was going to school with them, and then telling my then girlfriend that I was not going to school where she was already going to school.
I can't imagine.
That was a unique conversation
Yeah.
for a just newly 18-year-old.
Yeah. That's
But-
man.
So yeah, so
But you just knew.
I knew.
Yeah.
I did know. Packed 6 basically kind of book boxes worth of stuff, shipped it down to Miami. We moved to Europe.
Wow.
Flew back from Europe. And
crazy.
yeah, flew back from Europe, JFK, Miami, checked into a hotel, came across the street the next day, checked into school, went to the ROTC detachment, rolled the little, laundry basket with my 6 boxes of supplies, started school.
That's unbelievable.
No.
That's such a crazy story.
It's a fun story.
Man, that is powerful, man. Wow. Like I'm trying to put myself in your shoes there, and I just can't do it. Like that's man, talk about walking in your faith, man. Wow, you got me in my feels. That is powerful. And man,
It was challenging.
I can't, like, I'm just trying to, like, I can't imagine having, because I had, like, it was me and I had my church friends and my school friends, and we were all super tight, and we all knew where everybody was going, and we were making plans, like, we can get
Right.
to App State from Raleigh in 3 hours, and people were at UNCW and UNC Charlotte, and Chapel Hill and State and
you
Western. Like, we all just knew, and we all had plans to, and we're still in touch to this day, which is amazing. But yeah, to tell, like, Tyler was like my best friend in high school.
Yeah.
Tyler and Adam. Tyler was going to State. I was going to State. I was rooming with one of my best friends from high school, and to just switch that up last minute, I can't. I mean, that's incredible. But man,
Yeah, it was
worked
an
out.
adjustment.
Yeah.
It did. Well, it wasn't easy because so I was going to room with another young man who was going to study pre-medical studies.
Yep.
One of our good friends was going to the same school.
Yep.
My other really good friend in that foursome, he was going to LSU.
Nice.
But we all knew where we were all going.
Right.
And then actually by the end of the year, out of our class, 3 of us actually from that high school ended up at Miami.
Wow.
Another young man who had transferred in at our junior year. He took an Army ROTC scholarship and he finished with me at Miami.
That's amazing.
And then another young man had a scholarship. I think his may have been Air Force, but anyway, he lasted a year. But 2 of us made the distance.
Man,
Absolutely.
salute to both of y'all, man. All right, let's get to the wife story. This has got some zingers already. Take us through that.
This is a little fun. So, about halfway through my freshman year, there was a new student in the area, and a couple of us had decided to meet up with the student and go to a cafeteria we don't normally go to. So for us, it was the other side of campus.
Sure.
And so we were meeting at the Baptist Student Union, and we go, and this person doesn't show up. While we're waiting, a gentleman and a young lady walk up, and we introduce ourselves and find out that she's here looking at the school and just want to learn a little bit about what was going on at the BSU. And so good friend of mine and I, we visited with them. Well, I found out her father was a physician. He was a family physician.
Wow.
Had gone to Clemson back when Clemson was a military school.
Right.
So he had served. So we had this automatic connection with
cool.
medicine and the military. My friend was a double E major.
Okay.
She was going to study communications. So they kind of watched while her dad and I had this conversation for a while. Anyway, so I had a nice visit, said, hope you enjoy and whatever. Didn't think anything about it.
Wow.
And then the next fall, I was at an event with one of the other Christian ministries on campus. And this person walks up to me and says, "Are you Ron?" And it was Suzanne.
Wow.
And she had recognized me from the visit. She lived on one side of campus. I lived on the other side of campus, but we had pretty common sphere of friends. Couple of funny things where one of my good friends was actually Air Force ROTC. I was Army ROTC. There was always a little extra chiding going on around meals.
I never fully understood that, but yeah, it's a real thing.
It's the beautiful friendly rivalry
Right.
we have when we're not getting the job done.
Right.
Is what that is.
That's perfect. It's a perfect way to put it.
And so that did not necessarily endear her
Sure.
to me.
Sure.
I was pretty strong in my opinions and my experiences when it came to those things.
That's funny.
But God works in great ways. And later that year, we decided to date, and we dated for about a year and a half, and then I broke up with her.
Right. This part. This is the fun part.
Because I recognized that we were getting serious, and I knew the journey I was on. I was looking at 4 years of medical school, internship, plus 2 to 4 years of residency. I knew the challenges that her father and mother had overcome
Yeah.
during that time, and I wasn't sure that I was ready to make that commitment.
Wow. That's fair.
And so I broke up. Well, that was not a popular thing with many of our friends.
I'm sure.
I was not really. Yeah, it was difficult.
I'm sure.
And then through the grace of God and a lot of time, I graduated. She ended up graduating December the year after. We communicated a little bit, and then somewhere along there, she decided to go to Southwestern Theological Seminary for her master's degree, which is in Dallas, Fort Worth. And I was stationed at Fort Hood, which is it's between Waco and Austin. And we started communicating along in there. And then I remember my unit got a call to go to Southwest Asia. And I needed somebody to take care of some of my things back in the States. And I asked Suzanne if she would be willing to take care of that while I was deployed.
Wow.
And so she said yes. So I guess we're doing okay at that point. But we wrote a lot of letters.
Wow.
This is before Sell Anything. That was not a thing.
Definitely. Even email.
Oh yeah, our GPSs that we were using in the service are not even close to the GPS you have on your phone right now.
Sure.
Even on a good day.
Right.
So lots of letters, and it's amazing the work that God will do in your heart when you're laying across a litter on the back of a Humvee, staring up at the stars and asking God what you want to do for the rest of your life. So
Wow.
we did a lot of dating over that time, and
Wow.
redeployed back home, and she was coming in for an event. I ordered a ring. I called her dad, asked for permission to get engaged, and surprised her before the event by asking her to marry me. And she said yes, and nobody in the unit knew we were dating.
That's unbelievable.
So I walk into the event with her on my arm and introduce my fiance, and we got a lot of looks.
Wow. That's so good.
And that's been over 30 years ago.
Wow,
So
man. Congratulations.
life is fun.
Congratulations.
But we're both thankful.
Yeah. That's so, I mean, what a story, man. I love that. Okay. It's
fun.
Those are two both of those stories, like, they blow my mind, but I love it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right, let's get into where we left off with that first multi-generational business owner and just how that transitioned into what I assume you're doing now, right?
It did really lay from some foundation for me, and I did have some opportunity to do some additional consulting with individual organizations. And when I started to reflect back after that experience, I realized that through my professional career that I had unique opportunities to start new things or be part of brand new organizations. I look back at my military career and I saw a gap.
Yep.
And we created a system, and that system has been deployed from that unit I was with back in Fort Hood. They use that system today throughout the United States Army.
That's incredible.
Which is pretty cool. But then I look at the first company that hired me out of the military. I was the first time in that role for that company. We go to the next company, and So I realized that there was that knack. But then, as I was sharing with somebody earlier, I started encountering individuals that were principally starting business. A lot of them had skill sets and were deploying those outside of what they did full time, but they didn't really know why, and they didn't know where they were going. And so what I realized was they didn't need a consultant. They didn't need an answer guy.
Right.
They really needed a coach. And for me, the difference was watching large consulting firms come into multiple companies and basically spending a lot of time to ask a lot of questions so they could introduce their pre-pat solution.
Right.
That then I saw not really go anywhere.
Right.
So that didn't fit what I wanted to be. I wanted to be the person that runs beside you.
Yeah.
That then helps you to see those things that you don't necessarily see. We were talking about baseball and coaching.
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
And so I do make that correlation very, very closely, because one of my responsibilities, especially as a coach with our younger teams, our 7th and 8th grade teams, my responsibility was to help develop the talent that they did have.
Yep.
Also to identify the talent that may have been exceptional that really needed to be promoted early. And so a lot of the guys that could have been on one of my teams weren't.
Sure.
Because they were already at a JV level.
Sure.
And so I encouraged them
to
take some steps.
Yeah.
So I think that really partially laid into that mentality.
Absolutely.
Also, the idea of coaching and being with somebody through the long term
Right.
really appealed to me in being able to help guide and direct. So that's been a big process to why it's a coaching business and not a consulting business.
I love that. I love that.
But there was a journey. So while all these things were going along, with one of the companies I was with, I was introduced to Gallup's Clifton Strengths. A lot of people have heard of Clifton Strengths.
Yep.
Over 25 million people have taken the Clifton Strengths, and it was a revelation to me.
Really?
And that it was the first time that I really felt like something spoke to what I was best at. And that's really what that's designed to do. Is it's how do you naturally think, feel, and behave when you're at your best? And so while I didn't fully understand the language, I understood the intent.
Right.
Well, as I started to study that, I started to implement that as part of my mentorship and my coaching and my training of my teams. And some of them would go, "You're asking me this question on purpose, aren't you?" Yes, I am. Some will go, "I don't see that in me." It's like, that's okay.
Right.
That's okay. It's my
like we've done this
responsibility to pull.
I've been there. You've done that to me multiple times. But yeah.
So that was my first introduction to some of the Gallup tools.
Got you.
Well, as I continued to study, I learned about what was then called the EP10, or the Entrepreneurial Profile 10.
Okay.
And I took that assessment, and that was interesting. And so Gallup does a happiness study worldwide.
Okay.
And they had come across that study, and they were trying to figure out, well, what is the core of what makes people happy?
Yep.
And it came to a couple of key things. And this is pretty broad, but one is I want to be able to do the things that I do well as much as I possibly can. And I want to feel that I have meaningful work.
Amen, man.
And that could mean work in terms of a company, but it also could mean work in terms of being able to own or operate your own business.
Right.
Well, that led them into the first iteration of the research that they did for the Builder Profile 10. So they studied the Fortune 1000 and the Inc. fastest growing 1000 and developed an assessment to capture the traits that were prominent in those founders.
Right.
And that boiled down to 10 traits and 3 areas of focus. And so the EP10 somewhat resonated with me, but it didn't really settle in until a little bit later.
Okay.
there was a revision to that when they did some follow-on research, and then they called it the BP10, the Builder Profile 10, because what we realized was that you could have these talents to business, but they didn't have to be a business of your own. You might be deploying those talents inside a business. And then when I look back at what I had done in my career, that had made a lot of sense.
Right.
New roles, new positions, new companies, and the things that I'm good at, that's what I was deploying in those organizations.
Right.
So that sounded a little bit better. And then Gallup began to do some training around that assessment. I had an opportunity after leaving a company to go and be trained in that tool. And that was really the next pivotal thing in terms of where I wanted to go with my coaching, because Jim Clifton, who had co-written Born to Build,
Okay.
came in and he shared a vision of, if we could identify the most business talented high school students or college students and show them that they could actually engage in and create enterprise before they went to school,
Man.
that they could generate 5 and 6 figure businesses, that if they wanted to go to school and it would help them, they could actually pay for school and progress, because people don't start business because the biggest reason is college debt or school debt.
Sure.
So if you could free them from that and you could identify the top builders, then they could start early and they could start young and they could go. So that was the concept of there is another generation.
That's powerful.
And that's a powerful story. And so that's something that I do. I really lean into working with.
Yeah, that's like
young
your
people.
core. That's like your core target demo, and all the big goals and dreams we talked about off mic. Like that's
Absolutely.
like your heart is in those younger folks that do have the tools to do these things and don't have. I mean, we just don't know, right? Like we
don't know.
Like I was so clueless till I'm still clueless, but like just all through college, even high school assessment things, I'm like, sure, yeah, okay. I don't even remember what it told me, but like, okay, sure, maybe. And then you're just on to the next thing. But having something as concrete as a BP10, I've done it with you, and we're doing it as a team with Spread the Positive that we're all super excited about. It really is eye-opening to, and then you can like look back all this time and you're like, oh, I've been this rainmaker disruptor guy that has a lot of morale stuff that is just checks all the boxes of what I'm doing today. And it just opens your eyes in a different way. And we've already had conversations just from, what our stuff came back at, or what the team stuff came back as. And they're like, what? I did not expect to see that. I did not, like, Katie's just blown away. I'm going to call Katie out. But it's super, super eye opening, and it's a great tool for any small business. And that's why I'm super pumped to have you as a member of the 1200 Club and all the stuff we're going to do beyond that. 'Cause there's just way too much, not to do, or we have to do it. So and it's such a great, like, it's so in line with everything we're about here at Spread the Positive. It really is. It's like we're cut from the same cloth in a lot of ways there. So tell people how can people get in touch with you, and like what's the process kind of to get a BP10 set up and all that?
Absolutely. So they can go out to the website, which is fourthsquare.com, but I have to spell that.
Right.
It's 4thsqr.com.
Just take the vowels out, right?
Take the vowels out. Apparently there's another business on the other side of the world that has that. So
okay.
I got the short version.
Hey, that's the cool way.
We could do that. LinkedIn,
Yep.
also at Foursquare.
Yep.
That's a great way. Message me through LinkedIn, and that's where a lot of the work that I do is. But those are the two best ways. There's a simple inquiry form on the website, or just message me over LinkedIn, and that'll be great.
Awesome. We'll definitely have that in the show notes. And one of the, one of the signature questions I always ask every guest, the mission of spread the positive is bringing light to what's going right. And I know that's such a broad, subjective statement, but I always love to hear from everybody I get the chance to do this with in this crazy world, even today, with some of the crazy of the world.
Right.
What would you consider going right?
There's a lot of things going right.
Amen.
We're very fortunate, Suzanne and I, when we moved here to land in a young church,
Nice.
Avenue Church. We're currently meeting at Walnut House.
Okay.
Here, right, just a couple blocks
Yeah.
away.
It's right behind us.
And so, watching what that body is doing
That's awesome.
to minister to such a diverse group of people and to watch the church grow is
Amen.
exciting. The other thing that I've had an opportunity to invest in over the last now about 13 years is a new Christian outdoor character leadership program called Trail Life USA. And I've been able to serve as a volunteer in that organization since we got started.
That's so cool.
And so we provide Christ-centered, outdoor-focused training and opportunities for young men 5 to 25. And they're mentored by men. And the God's word is core to what we're teaching them, so they have strong biblical faith as they progress through those transitional and challenging years and step into roles as godly fathers and husbands and brothers and future leaders of the country. So
Amen.
it's awesome to watch that organization grow.
I bet. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Rhett Bryan, Jessica Bryan's son. He got his first patch
Nice.
recently, and man, just smiling ear to ear on that picture. And he's been an integral part of all things Spread the Positive here with Fourth Friday and all the stuff Jessica's helped us with over the years. So shout out to you, Rhett. Super proud of you, bud. And that's just a testament to trail life in general. That's really awesome. And I mean, you're like board level, or aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're board level. Like you're traveling, doing all the things to help further that mission. So those are some great examples of what's going right. Amen to that.
Absolutely.
Definitely plug Avenue Church, or when do y'all meet, and how can people get involved with that?
Our Avenue Church.
Our Avenue Church. Okay.
If you go to Google, we apparently place really high.
Okay, nice. That's
Services at 9/11.
Okay.
We're over here at the Walnut House.
Okay.
Offer children's some ministry time during both services.
Nice.
It's a great place to meet the Lord.
Okay. Amen, man. I want to check that out.
Yeah.
Cool. Just wrapping up. I got another signature thing I always like to do. You're familiar. Appreciate you always with the feedback and listening to episodes. That's always so validating. Hit me with your grateful for, man.
Right now, we're in a wonderful transition in our world where our daughter, who is our youngest, just got married in November. And so just super thankful to watch my wife's growth in this phase.
Wow.
So we have a son, and I call her my daughter. She's my daughter-in-law. They've been married about 9 years.
Wow.
And to watch my second son and his wife and those boys, now with Katie and her new husband.
That's
But just watching the growth in my wife as she has stepped into roles. We have both of our mothers have passed in the last 3 years. And to watch her step into that role of being that matriarch to the family and build relationship and build her faith and watch her pray over our children and our 5 grandchildren. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a solid number one.
Amazing. That's the big one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all 4? I'm gonna hold you.
Oh man.
That's 1.
Yeah. So that's a big one. Wow. There's, again, I think the church, watching what's going on with the church is great. And then I don't know that we say this about the younger generation as much as we maybe should, but there is more than a remnant in this younger generation. And I've realized I'm a whole lot older than I expected in a lot of ways. But when I say younger generation, say mid-20s to mid-30s, that are chasing the Lord.
Amen.
Are looking to be impactful and powerful in God's way in this country and in their communities. And that's super exciting.
That is. Got one more.
One more. The joy, I was sharing this actually with a business owner that's from this area that I'm working with right now. And just from a business perspective, getting to watch the light bulbs pop on and just to see the great energy that the builders that I get to work with have as they start to see what is possible and start to engage in their best and how that's impacting them, their business, impacting their family. And really, if we build the right next generation, then we'll have generational businesses.
Yeah.
And so it's learning that disciplined thought process that needs to go on to run it, but then being disciplined in the transition to the next generation. And if we raise a generation that knows what it means to run a business, and then we have a generation that trains them up, we'll be a stronger country overall.
Amen. That's how you wrap up a podcast, man. Ron, thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being part of the STP network and what we're building here. You're a huge part of that, and it's just been so awesome to get to know you, man. Like you're a very incredible human being, man. Like, and it's an honor to call you friend and coach and all that. So I'm gonna try not to get all the way sappy on the way out, but y'all be sure to check out foursquare.com, the cool hip way. Just drop the vowels, you'll find him. Check out foursquare.com and be on the lookout for some content. We're going to be shooting some really good stuff in here, and potential pods and all the other stuff we're going to be working on, classes, seminars. Just the sky's the limit with this guy, and he's got a voice and a message that needs to be heard, and we're here to help with that. So thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Trent.
Yep.